Hi everybody, this is Georgia with Enough Faith for Today. I just got done watching my favorite pastor, Pastor Stephen Furtick. His sermon was Take the Lid Off a Little, and it kind of related to what I wrote this morning after I got done reading the Word. And it also references Romans 8:28, which I'm going to go into here in a minute. But first I want to focus on the take the lid off a little, because when he spoke that, it made me think, because when I wrote this morning, I didn't really like what I wrote. It didn't come out the way I would want it to, but I believe it's still pretty good. There's a little in there that might help somebody. And I have very little subscribers. I have very little people that hit share. I have very little reason to persist in the purpose that I know God has given me, which is to gather the body of Christ at the American Discovery Trail for America Discovers God Again Day of Prayer, nationwide prayer chain from ocean to ocean, October 18th, 2026, and every year on the third Sunday in October, to remind our nation we love God and we serve Him, and in a body of Christ united way, putting Him back in the center of our nation every year, so we have remembrance. And so we can come together, shine our light for God, so that He can build our children a brighter future, because only He can do that. So across the time zones, Pacific time is 10, Mountain is 11, Central is 12, East Coast is 1. Hope to see you there. Now back to take the lid off a little. So I have little reason to pursue this purpose that I know God has given me, because I've been doing it for 10 years and I don't really have an impact. I'm not a voice that's known, 9 to 5, struggling to survive, but I'm okay with that. And I'm okay with taking the lid off the little that I have to offer to help others who have struggled through this chaotic world, because it is chaotic. And we can take any help, any advice that we can get to help steer us in the right direction. And I'll tell you right now, the right direction is God. Get in the Word, say your prayer, sing some praise. 3 best things for your mental health. Just saying. It helps heal the soul too. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read what I wrote, and then we're going to jump into Romans 8:28. But we're going to do some extra, because through the years that I've been reading my Bible, I have chapter 8 in Romans, almost the whole dang thing is either underlined or parenthesized. Throughout the years, I just grab more and more that speaks to my heart and my soul. And that's how the Bible works. It never gets old. Okay, so I labeled this one, Don't We All? I just want to be understood. Don't we all? That longing deep down, like the secret part we keep inside. You have to go through the layers to find that side. What do you hide down deep inside? Is it anger? Maybe pride? A need to control, but you don't know why? What if I shared the truth that God talks to me when no one sees? Would you just label me crazy? Maybe say I'm a witch? That's not true, but I can be a bitch. At least that's how it seems. But honestly, it's just my boundaries. I won't allow anyone to break them anymore. My peace, my joy, my purpose. What if I said, God talks to me? He's shown me with every boundary I place a piece of me is restored, allowing the depths of me to show more and more peace, joy, and purpose, rising from the ocean floor till it roars like the waves crashing on the shores. Nothing can stop me now. I live life knowing I'm God's child. Nothing can stop me now. Understood is what I'd like to be. For someone to not be scared of the fire in me. To have eyes to see past the world's opinion of beauty. I'm no saint, and I never will be. Imperfection is okay with me. And even if no one ever knows or understands the depths of my soul, I'll be all right. 'Cause God talks to me. He's already told me, you're exactly the woman I meant you to be. You make me smile when you speak boldly for me. Keep speaking, even if no one hits share. I'm okay with that, because I know God cares. That's my words for today. God will speak to you too. It's about relationship, not religion. And the greatest way to get into relationship with God is in His Word. Now, 8:28. Romans 8:28. Everybody knows this one. I'm just going to read that verse, but then I'm going to read the contents. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to His purpose. A lot of people, when they read that, they remember the part that says God will work all things for good, but they don't take the contents with it. So let's jump up and go to verse 26, and then we're going to read 29 too. Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities, for we know not what we should pray for as we ought. But the Spirit itself maketh intercessions for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is in the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercessions for the saints according to the will of God. You want to make God laugh? Tell him your plans. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to His purpose. We all have a purpose. For whom He did foreknow, He also did predestined to be conformed to the image of His Son, Jesus, that He might be the firstborn among many brethren. Okay, to be a Christian is to be Christ-like. And it says there, conform to the image of His Son. What do you think when you think of Jesus? You should think of somebody that loved everybody and wanted to heal everybody. Now, I'm going somewhere here in my head that I didn't plan to, but we're going to let it flow. And I'm going to hit this with the LGBTQ community. I'm not even sure I said that right. But gay people, basically, you know. Christians are sometimes harsh on them, or so-called Christians, I would like to say. Because I would say to be a true Christian, you don't judge anybody. You don't look down on anybody, okay? And I think there's a very big clash there. where a lot of the LGBTQT, whatever it is, community feels like we judge them, okay? And it should not be that way. It just should not. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Jesus healed, okay? He healed people that had leprosy, a deadly disease. He was not afraid of them. He did not judge them. He did not say, why are you this way? What did you do? He healed. What about the ones that had demons? Like, he healed the people that had demons in them that made them do wicked things. He loved them. He healed them. Okay, so why do we judge people? Why do we judge people? That is not our job. Our job is to love people. And people want to be understood. There is not real love. You can have that surface level charm that you give to everybody. But when you really love and care about somebody, you see their deeper layers. And you say, yeah, they ain't perfect, but they're still good in them. And you choose to focus on that. Now, I'm not saying let somebody walk all over you and tell yourself, oh, well, they still have good in them. Don't do that. Set your boundaries. But come from a caring heart, no matter the situation. Even if it's somebody that hates you, you know, somebody that like despises you for no apparent reason. Choose to care about them. Choose to, instead of saying, why are they, you know, such a bee when I never did nothing, instead say, what is their hurt and trauma that makes them react to me that way? And pray about it. Pray, pray, pray. Okay, so now I'm going to jump back into chapter 8 again. We're going to hit verses, what is that, 20 and 21. Because this is deep. This is something you could easily skip over. But because of what I've been through in the healing process I've been going through, it speaks to me. And I'm hoping I can put it across in a way that it clicks the light bulb on it, speaks to you too. Because it definitely gave me a level of clarity. It says, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who hath subjected the same in hope. Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. Now, when it speaks about that creature, it made me think of my hurt. It made me think of my pain. It made me think of my unforgiveness and my sin. It's like the darkness that lives inside of you. That creature, subject to vanity. Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of God. I believe the only way that creature can be delivered is when you put the work in to self-heal yourself. And I'm talking to people that have been run through the ringer. There's a lot of us out there. It's the truth. And there's a lot of our children that are being run through the ringer. How many children are in foster care? That's a horrible system. I'm sorry. I understand it has a good intention behind it, but their ability to actually operate foster care in a way that nourishes children, it's just out of their control. I mean, maybe it's not, but it would take a lot of people that really seriously cared and who would not look the other way when they knew the situation wasn't right. And I lost track there. But yeah, when you get the healing done, when you go through the work, when you go to God, you will receive glorious liberty. And all those dark things in your life that weigh you down and keep you in a mindset that keeps you negative. Let's just say that. It keeps you negative. Like, things are never going to get better. I'm never going to be good enough. You know, this is just how life is. There's not any real joy, because I used to think that. Like, life isn't actually, you're not actually supposed to be happy. Anyways, I'm losing my train of thought on that. But whenever you work in those dark shadow places and you take the time to process how you got there, why you got there, and what you can do different in the future so you don't go back there. That's a process of healing that is important. Analyzing situations from your past. I don't want you always staring at your past, but when you notice a pattern that is constantly weighing you down or causing you pain, then that's something you need to look at. You need to think about it. You need to think about what emotions you were feeling. You need to think about what thoughts you were feeling. Because when you can balance your emotions and your thoughts and get them to align in a way that you're like, okay, this is what I was feeling. This is what I was thinking. And this was the outcome. If it's a good outcome, stick with that plan. If it's a bad outcome, say, okay, what do I need to change? Do I need to change the way I'm thinking about it? Do I need to change the way I'm reacting with my emotions to it? And what can I do to make that change? Most times it's perspective. It's perspective. You have to look at the situation differently. You have to step outside of it. And when you can get that different perspective and you can get to the point where you heal that, you just make more room for God's light and love. And it just continues to grow with every wound you heal. And trust me, we all got lots of them. It's a layering process of getting rid of the lies. A lot of it is just the lies we tell ourselves, the lies we have been told, the situations sometimes too. Like, sometimes you have to look past your situation and just trust and believe that God will provide you with what you need to do His purpose in life. I want to make that clear, His purpose. Because God's not going to provide you what you need to do something that's not in His purpose or His will. So if you've been praying for something for a long time and you don't see anything happening, then change your perspective. Ask God to show you what you actually need. Attitude of gratitude's one. Care and compassion for other people is two. Maybe that should be number one. And loving yourself. Taking the time to care for yourself. That is so important. Whew, you cannot pour from an empty cup. I'm 46 years old. It took me that long to freaking figure it out. Anyways, I hope this helps somebody. I feel like I was rambling at the end. Oh well. I'm getting there. One day at a time. Be blessed and be a blessing. Bye.